Netanyahu came out and said what needed to be said, that the Israeli army is not just for Israelis or people moving to Israel. It's for Jews who are not even thinking about moving to Israel. Maybe your plan is, after 3 years in the IDF, go back to UCLA or Gainesville, University of Florida, or Harvard, or Madrid, Murcia, Spain, or Argentina. Too many Jews, have the concept that that's only for people who live there or grow up there or move there. And changing the name from the Israeli Defense Force to the Jewish Army makes kids around the world start thinking about it. Parents who have kids who are 13 or 14 have to start raising them. As you light the menorah, you have to serve in the Israeli army, the Jewish army. As you put a mezuzah on the door of your house, think about it, not starting college at 18 but at 21. The important thing about Netanyahu is he actually said, no longer can you say you stand with Israel or you support Israel if you've never served in the IDF. These TikTok influencers who've never served, they're just making money. Okay, maybe they are fans of Israel, but they don't support Israel and stand with Israel. They stand in another country. They stand in Utah or California or Madrid, or they stand in Argentina. So he's getting hard now, and a lot of American Jews are angry with him. Because when he said you don't really support Israel, you never served in the IDF, you're going right to college and law school or something after high school. He's telling the truth. And it's angering some Jews that this is going to be the reality. That you do not really support Israel if you've never been in the Jewish army. You do not stand with Israel if you've never been in the Jewish army. And changing the name to the Jewish Defense Force will help Jews around the world think in a different way. So maybe in Brooklyn, New York, a Jewish kid who's having a bar mitzvah will not be told after high school, go to Harvard. He'll start thinking, or she'll think after high school, go to the Jewish army for 3 years. Learn what it is to be a Jew. Learn how to defend yourself and don't be a nebish. And learn how to fight anti-Semitism with a fight. Not just talking about it or making stupid videos with your big Jewish star around your neck or your chai. There are so many goyish-looking Jewish girls in New York with their Jewish stars who happen to appear wherever something is happening, or they make it happen, and they show their faces, support Israel. We have to stand strong. We have to fight for this. These girls and boys have never been in the Jewish army in their lives. They've never stood with Israel. So it's time to make Jewish people angry and tell Jewish parents in Spain, in Bolivia, in USA, California, New York, Utah, your kids have to serve in the Jewish army after high school. There's no excuse, okay? There really is no excuse. If you don't support Israel, if you don't stand with Israel, don't do it. But it doesn't make a difference. You can start Harvard at 21. You can enter Harvard Law School at 25. The best law firms in Manhattan will take you when you're 28 instead of 25. Don't think, I'll miss a career move, I'll miss a career opportunity. You're not going to miss anything. But Netanyahu's making Jews angry now by saying to them, you really don't stand with us. And they say, yeah, I do. I send money every year and I make videos on Instagram. You're a fan of Israel. You're a Jew, but you don't stand with Israel. Why didn't you do those 3 years? Because it was dangerous, because it's dirty, I could get killed. Jewish mothers don't like that kind of dirt. You don't wipe your ass correctly. Or something is wrong. And Israel has to start changing the narrative on that and creating alternative facts that support the idea that Jewish kids, just as lighting the menorah, having a mezuzah on the door, having a bar mitzvah, having a Jewish name, serving in the Jewish army has to be another thing on that plate. That should not be something that only idiots do, or suckers, or Jews who move to Israel, or maybe Israeli kids. The day has to come when American Jewish kids, 90% of them, start thinking, when I finish high school, I want to go Navy, I want to go Air Force, I want to go Army. They start working out. Maybe they start learning Hebrew, okay? And they get ready for their physical fitness test, the PFT. Okay, when I was 26, I moved to Israel. I did a PFT. I was in the Navy. What happened was the Air Force had first crack at the best and the brightest, and the Navy came in and took me. I was good at math. I wasn't in the Army, or the Marines. And I did my time in Haifa. Then I went back to my country to live. A lot of people, you don't have to think of moving to Israel the rest of your life to do the Jewish army. Go back home after. But it's as important. You light the menorah, not because you're a religious Jew. Maybe you're non-practicing, but it means something to you. It's symbolic. You have a Jewish name. Maybe you eat the matzah. You're not religious, but you do it anyway. Why not the Jewish army? Why isn't that as good for non-practicing Jews as the matzah, the menorah, the Jewish name, and the bar mitzvah? Anyway, we're here in Spain. We're 87,000 Jews. We're 127 in Murcia, Spain. Think about serving in the Jewish Defense Force.